Hey, it's Korinn, 365 days of open heart living, day number 70, accessing your light. So we're in a span of about like 5 days where I'll be talking about each or the spiritual dimension, and then we'll do 5 days with mental, emotional, physical dimensions of our being that make up our wholeness. So today is the second day of talking about our spiritual dimension, and the topic is accessing your light. So, what do I mean by light? It's your non physical self, your non physical body, your spirit. It is the force, the energy that illuminates you. It's the light that shines through your eyes. It's the light that shines through your eyes. It's the light that radiates from your heart. It's the energy, the light that can pour from your hands in radiance. We all have the capacity to heal with our hands, and it's not anything that we have to be consciously aware of doing. It's just touch. We can amplify it. We can amplify our light in many different practices and make it stronger and direct it. But the light that we have within us, that is you as your spirit in your body, it is on all the time. Your light is always on. Nothing can ever turn your light off. And that's how it can flow through your hands, your heart, your eyes, your words, your voice, the tone you use at any given time, because it's on. Think of it like when you think about your hands and light coming through them, think of it as like it's energy. So it's radiance, it's heat. Like we have radiant heat, radiant energy coming off of us all the time. This is what diagnostic medical I want to say like MRIs or x-rays, like there's components of us that radiate, and in that radiation, which is light, right, it can be picked up on with medical devices. But we don't need a medical device to feel and access our light. We can do it because it is a part of us. And the radiance of it is something that can shift. So our light is always on, but it's not always bright. Sometimes it's dimmed. Sometimes it's dimmed very, very small and light, and you can't feel it within yourself, nor is it being expressed into the world through your heart, through your words, through your hands' touch, through your eyes. And so you are not fully alive in your light at those times when it's dim. And at times when your light is bright, that is when you come into your own. The light within you that is your spirit is your guiding light. Your guiding light. Your spirit light is your guiding light. And you need to have connection and access to it in order for it to be a guide for you. I wrote down a few things, and I want to read them. So in Acuenergetics, my instructor, the founder, Kevin Nefero, he would always use this quote in talking about meditation. And so I'm going to use it here as well and then talk a bit about it. And the quote is from a Sufi poet, Hafiz. Hafiz wrote, "For the inner alchemy to work, the water jug needs a still cup. Why ask me anything more about your most vital requirement? The water jug needs a still cup. What that means is, in cultivating stillness for yourself, you are then able to be filled with the presence, the light, the awareness of your spirit. In day-to-day life, we are busy. We have so much going on in our mind, in our day, with our bodies, with relationships, social settings, work, family, grocery list, whatever it is. Things to do. We have our to-do list that is never, ever, ever ending. The things we need to get done in it, we repeat over and over and over. And that is the beautiful flow and process of life that we need to participate in to keep things moving and to keep our machine of living well oiled. But does it give you time to give to your spirit? Does it allow you the space to stoke that inner light, to access that light within you? If you do not have time every day to access your light, then to a degree you're living mindlessly in rote repetition of just doing the same thing over and over and over. Now, depending on your attitude and how you carry yourself, what your mindset, your emotional state, your light might be bright and vibrant. That might be just fine. You might not have to make any changes. But if your light is dim, you need to access your spirit. You need to access your light in a way that allows you to feel it, so that you can be filled fuller and brighter with the light that is you, turning that light from dim up until it's so bright that the energy revives you, revitalizes you, gives you new life, gives you new breath, gives you new motivation and new desires to do goodness for yourself and for others. So in meditation, when we put down the mind, that is what he's talking about. The jug needs a still cup. For the inner alchemy to work, the water jug needs a still cup. To still, we are the receptacle. We are the cup. When we put down our mind, we still ourselves as a receptacle so that we can be filled with the light of our spirit. When we put down the mind, or we put down what we're holding, then there is stillness in us as the receptacle, so that we may be filled with the awareness of our spirit. And that is an aspect of the light within you. Awareness, your spiritual awareness, your spirit's awareness. When the light is brighter, you're clearer. You have more awareness of how you are conducting yourself in the world and what that inner calling is for you to be doing in the world as well. When your light is dim, you are cut off from noticing, seeing, feeling that light to guide you and being who you are meant to be in the world and being in the state that you are truly designed to be in. So the meditation we're going to do today to feel the light within you, to access the light, is the one that helps us to put down the mind, to still our cup, to still ourselves as the receptacle of feeling our energy, of feeling our light. so that we can feel brighter and better. And that practice of meditation is the simple and profound inner breath. So I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice, deep, relaxing breath. Very simple practice today, but it's the foundation practice, and it is profound. The more that you put this into place in your life, the greater the reward will be and what you get from it and its profoundness. So you're just going to complete the simple cycles of feeling the breath, letting it be a physical thing. When the mind wanders, notice that. Don't try to stop it, just be aware. And then just turn back inward to the physical feeling sense. Let's do it now. Bringing our attention inside of our body and noticing the physical sensation of breathing. When we are holding thoughts in our mind and following the movement of thinking, we are not a still cup. When we put our thoughts down and we are aware in our feeling sense of our body, we still ourself. The awareness of your spirit opens, and being alive and feeling. And feeling your aliveness. As you breathe in and out, feel the physical aliveness that is you in your body. Just by feeling your breath. Your breath is the doorway to your spirit. After all, to inspirate is to breathe. to be inspired by the light within you is to be connected to the breath of your spirit that is your light. The breath is your access point to your light of your spirit. And what is profound about this is it is simple. Just feel your breath and your light is there. You can feel it in your breath. Feel your breath and be an open observer of the physicality that is you, that your light is very intimately expressed through. And as you feel your breath and you feel the energy that is you alive, your light literally brightens. Putting down the mind and feeling the body, you access your spirit. You can't feel your spirit unless you put your mind down and come into the open awareness of your feeling sense, which is your spirit's awareness, not your mind's awareness. They are two, although integrated. One has a higher perception and a higher truth. So go through another few cycles of putting your mind down and feeling the awareness. Feel the breath. Do nothing. Just be aware and open and feeling the breath. There you are. There you are. Feeling yourself, your inner light. Turning inward to your light. Feeling steadier, like the stilled cup. You are the receptacle of your life, and the awareness of your spirit has filled you. When you're ready, open your eyes. Notice how you feel. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel brighter? When your eyes were closed, did you have a sense that there was a brightness that shined within you? Whatever your experience was, just that amplification of your light, your spirit, it was happening. And the little twinges, the little impressions, the little sensations that you were experiencing when you were putting your mind down and letting it be a physical experience, your spirit was being amplified because you were allowing yourself to not think, to not do, but to be. And in being, and in your being, is your light, simply because you are. You are. There is a book that I learned about also through Kevin Neferro in Acuenergetics. It's called The Secret of the Golden Flower, and it's an ancient text on meditation. And it's one of those texts that it's profound when you kind of have a little understanding of what it's talking about. And the more that you read it and the more that you do the practice of the inner breath, then it's kind of something that builds on top of itself in the practice, where the more you understand your experience, the more the book makes sense. The more you read the book, the more it adds to understanding what you're experiencing, the practice of it. And there's a thing that is talked about within the book that is called turning the light around. And that has everything to do with this practice of feeling your spirit, your light. And in the practice of turning the light around, so we are light. I talked about emitting the light. It radiates from our eyes, from our hands, from our hearts. So our light moves out into the world. When we do meditation and we put our minds down and we are in stillness, that light of awareness that shines out in expression turns around and becomes the light of awareness shining back into us, or I want to say reflecting more accurately. The light is then reflected back into us because it is our own. Turning the light around is turning around the light of our awareness, so that in seeing the reflection of our light, almost like seeing the reflection of the moon on the water at nighttime, we see the reflection and the light illuminates us even more in awareness. I wrote something down the other day. I have a gentleman that I've been talking to. He's lovely, but it's short-lived because he's moving. I feel like we're going to still be friends. I hope we are, because I like him. Yeah, that's been something fun for me in the last month and a half. It's been lovely. But I don't even remember what I was doing. But I just remembered that I wrote this down and then I shared it with him. I texted it to him. I think it might have just been my mind wandering. And then this thought came in. I can't place it specifically, but I remember I shared it with him. And so I brought it out to share with you guys because I loved it. And it really speaks to what we're talking about today in accessing your light. So the quote that I wrote down that I thought about was, profoundness isn't always about big. Profoundness is about deep. And it can be found in simple things when we feel them deeply, when we allow them to be felt deep within the heart. That is profound. And the inner breath is just that, a simple, profound practice that allows you to feel depth. It's beautiful. And so is your heart. So live it. Live your heart.